Hi guys, welcome to episode 3. This time we're going to be looking at another Protoss versus Terran. This time it's going to be on Antia shipyards. This map is in the 1v1 ladder pool and was also played on the 1v1 ladder in the mid-diamond skill rating. This was just prior to the Zerg game that you had seen just last time. We've got the blue Protoss down here in the south, xDxNoumander. Kind of a strange name. I'm the red Terran in the top right in this base here. Once again, you cannot see me because I am a ninja. This is a really interesting map and works really good for my playstyle because there are many open paths in and around the bases, as well as a central Zelnaga tower. If you hold these, you can see the wide area around the center, which includes both views of the north and south gold bases. Another great feature of this map, especially for me, and you'll see it come to play here, is the rocks guarding the second entrance to the third base. If you can see here, this is the main, goes down into the natural, and the natural goes down and up into the third here. Well, there's another way in. There's the rocks here that you can access from the center of the map. It plays a really important role in stopping your opponent's macro from overpowering you. Whenever I'm against an opponent that's on 3 or more bases, it's almost over for me. Usually I try to contain them onto 2 and it works rather well. Anyways, we have the probe in here now. He must be really suspicious because he doesn't see any buildings. Normally you'd have the barracks down on 12 here guarding the front of the ramp, but I didn't do that this game, so he's a little bit alarmed. Usually this means that it's proxy racks cheese. Now I'm not sure if he was smart enough to see if I was building SCVs or if I cut them, but he knows that something is up. There's some unorthodox play going on here. So he's going to go right to the center, beeline to the tower. He's going to see if he can spot anything because most proxy racks will be within this general area. He sent a second scout up here because he's really scared. This is a really great place for proxy cheese, but he doesn't see it. So he's losing 2 workers worth of mining time here as well. You can see how he responds. So far he's kept his build pretty standard. He's going 1 gate, 1 cybernetic score. He's not doing like a 2 gate kind of rush build, which is, you know, fair enough. A lot of people might do the 2 gate in a defense, or they might do it as a quick attack if he realizes that I'm building a command center rather than barracks. Now he's sending his probe up to check for that. Now he had his other one pulled back to his minerals. Still no racks. And he sees gas before racks. That's pretty scary. And of course he's doing that stupid probe harass. However, this time I was able to get that worker out and chase him off. Little bastard, he's not gonna get me. Snake. And this guy knows how to shift click too. What a boss. He sees no orbital yet. He sees 2 racks and an engineering bay and 1 gas. At this point, because there's more than 1 racks and an engineering bay, he can assume I'm doing a bio-based build, which means he's going to see a lot of infantry. So I'd expect him to take an expansion rather soon, I guess, but he'll also go up and grab Colossus or High Templar and he'll start his tech path, and indeed he has. He's gone 1 gate robo, which is an aggressive, really aggressive rush to Colossus. He's banking on the fact that I don't have any army units available right now because I obviously expanded. He can assume that because of the delay here. He didn't see any of the buildings. So he's probably going to rush for Colossus, and that's a really smart choice and a direct counter to the build that I had done and to my playstyle in general. If he grabs a base within the next minute here as well, it's going to mean a lot of trouble for me because he'll be able to turtle off sentries and 2 bases, and he'll be able to just deathball me into oblivion. So we're going to see how I respond to that. His 4G early upgrades too. He's accepting the fact that I was so greedy, and instead of doing a rush to punish me, he's trying to outmatch me. So he is trying to catch up with the upgrades because he saw my engineering bay there. And he's also going up to 3 gate robo. I'm gonna look for him to expand here shortly too. As soon as he gets enough sentries to cut off this ramp here, so he'll be able to deal with any bio-based attacks. He's even sending his first observer here to find out some information. He's quite active with it, which is very good for him because he needs to know everything he can if he's playing against greedy fucking guy like me. Bunkers. I must have been worried about being rushed because he only saw... I was scared of a 4-gate really, because I figured he knew I'd expanded. He's going to figure out exactly how much I have, and he's not going to feel worried at all, because this only my 3rd barracks is going up after 7 minutes. It's got to be the greediest opening this guy's ever seen. Still only 1 gas though, so it's very obviously bio. I must have seen the probe blur too, because I'm setting up missile turrets now. I didn't have them ready like in the very first game. I'm surprised that he's choosing to have this observer here, knowing that I don't have much forces. He should be trying to find my ninja expansion. I guess he's going to send his stalker right here. I don't have... I'm not brave enough to put it down here. Although in some games I have put it quite close to my opponents. You can really get away with that. Like if you have your opponent's base here, their natural here, and their 3rd here, a lot of games and opponents don't really get past the 3rd base, especially Protoss in the way that I play. So it'd be really safe, really, to expand in this location here. He did check it, but it's so close, like no one would expect that. I do that a lot in team games, to great success as well. So he has a stalker all the way up here. He's using his shift click to rally his stalker around while he macros. He snipes off this SCV here. He's got his observer, he still sees everything. Sees that I'm pushing out. He's still got enough sentries here to block that. Oh, lo and behold, he finally spots my greediness. Took him a while, he went all the way around the map, but still, doesn't bode very well for me. Try to pull my SCVs and deal with him. He's stutter stepping rather well. Still, it's too many SCVs for 1 stalker. I sent a Marine down to scout to see what he has, and I didn't quite see the Nexus. Just going pretty bad. So he's already got weapons level 1, weapons level 2 is almost done, and he's got his first Colossus almost finished, and it's only 10 minutes in. I'm obviously very greedy. He sees that I've got a 3rd base here to his knowledge, and I've had this one up probably quite a while to him. He knows I dropped a command center at 15. He still has his observer there. So he's probably feeling pretty confident knowing that he's able to counter my build and keep up with me. He has his upgrades, probably the same as me. He's got pretty close in economy. I mean, his tech advantage really makes up for the fact that he's economically behind. I'll bring back up that income tab so you can see exactly where it's at. He's not that far behind. He's only 14 workers. That is a disadvantage, but if you consider the artificial rules I kind of forced myself into playing. So this Protoss is doing quite a bit more work than the last one. This fucking observer is still lazy though. He's fired. He didn't even make it to the border. He's really got to figure out what's going on here. Like, everyone I play against is just so lazy when it comes to information. Ah, there we go. Do some work, observer. So now we've got 2 Colossus on the field. It's becoming really hard to deal with already. If you're using solely Marines and SCVs, 2 Colossus is manageable. When it gets to 3 or more, it gets really tough. What makes this even more difficult is the fact that he has 3 sentries that are full on energy. That's a lot of force field to be able to land and cut my SCVs and Marines in half. We'll see how he's able to use it though. Let's bring along a War Prism for harassment. I guess he knows that this base, this area, is totally cut off from the rest. He's got the observer here too, so he'll be able to see if I counter. Oh, he's pushing. This is going to be nasty. Good thing I saw it with the Marine down there. At this point I have to pull everything because 2 Colossus is just too much, and I was so greedy getting so many bases. But it's a really tight battle because he's got so many force fields. He needed to use Guardian Shield with the sentry, so since he already has a +1 armor, it would have benefited him a lot. Guardian Shields is a little area of effect attack that increases armor by 2. And he obviously didn't do that. So now we got the SCVs just finishing off those Colossus there. He sees I've got another base, so he knows he's 4 base Terran against... Oh look! What a ninja! He snuck his War Prism over to see if he can cap my production and kill me right there, but It's not going to work. I got bunkers here and too much production for him to stop. I mean, when he had his observer in here last time, there's 3 barracks. Now we're up to, I guess, 11 in this location. So I'm able to clean all this up. This observer is still alive too. It's only got 4 health. Wow. And he's able to get out of there. That's impressive. So what's he going to do next? He's upgraded to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 gateways, 1 robo. So he's going to really push his gateway composition with his Colossus there. I expect him to chrono boost this. I guess he's going for the upgrades first. Charge. So he's looking to hard counter my composition. Yeah, I'm busy. Shut up, Ares. Get in the way of my fucking VOD. Going little piss ants. Alright, so we've got a Protoss trying to go heavy tech off 2 bases. You can tell this guy is not very confident in macro. If he's not going for a 3rd base, this is almost all in. He's got upgrades going, yes. He's got Colossus going, yes. He's got charge lots, which is a hard counter to Marines, yes. He's throwing up a Templar Archives, which is another hard counter, yes. But what he's not doing is he's not expanding, he's not spending his money, and he's not building probes. This is what's going to kill him. He's got nothing left. You know, oh look, he does take a 3rd. Guess he's not so much of a Jew after all. Oh, talk about wasted stim. Look at how weak those guys are, and these sentries are just going to cut them. Yeah, that's suicide. Colossus is going to be a total boss by the end of this game. Maybe he'll even beat that last guy's. Last guy had, what, 50 kills on his Colossus? We'll see how far this guy can go. Turns out his Warp Prism was able to discover a fifth base up here. He's got Marines and SCVs camped outside of his base. He's really got to use this Warp Prism effectively if he expects to win off 2 bases. His tech advantage is going to only last so long if he's just getting rolled. He's at a 20 harvester disadvantage right now. He really has to take this out to stay in this game. Not only that, but he has to secure another base. Now he's doing really good microing those Colossus, holding them back. Because it doesn't matter if they take a little bit of damage because their shields regenerate. And he can lose all the gateway units he wants. He's just going to have to be careful of counterattacks. While he was dealing with all these guys up here, I just walked some in and killed his probes and Nexus. And as you guys have seen in previous games, when you lose one of your bases and you only have 1 to 3, you're in really deep trouble if you know your opponent has, 4 or more. He took out this base, which is the only thing going in his favor right now. He's continuing his push. He sees I've got yet another one, so he knows I'm back on 5 bases. He's just trying to kill as many workers as he can down here. His observer is here to see any counterattacks. He's even covering this second route into his 3rd. He should be making that expansion though. He should be pumping Colossus and making that expansion. Yeah, he's doing it. I managed to catch up with some Marines though and hit him with the SCVs. They just work so well together. I mean, even against Colossus, not very many people would micro them. The Colossus spend all their time shooting the SCVs. The Marines are just free to DPS away.
I'm here.
It doesn't work really well. This guy's macro is horrible. He stopped making probes for the longest time. His natural is only coming back up now. He really needs to secure a 3rd. He needs to use everything he has to secure a 3rd and build up those Colossus and sentries. It's the only way for him to take this game. But instead, just like the other Protoss, he gets aggressive when he shouldn't. He starts running into Marines in the middle of the map. I'm not really trying to kill a whole lot here. Oh, you saw a Guardian Shield there. I'm just trying to take away his support units so I can start chipping away at the Colossus and make him feel like he has to play defensively so I can expand more. What his 3rd Colossus being a lazy little bitch over here too. God, I always find these lazy units. They just got to do more work. We've got so much riding on them. So we got 38 kills and 29 kills. This one's got 12 more to go before it reaches the other one. And he's coming back up into these bases to try and equalize the economy here, but it's just not going to work. He doesn't know about he doesn't think I could have expanded any further. And I just send a few Marines down here to poke. I should be moving him down. Yeah, there we go. I mean, he can't afford any probe deaths, yet he takes 3 so far. 3 died, 4 died. 4 probes died, and he only has 23 left, and he's 20 minutes into a game. Like I said in the game against the Zerg, it doesn't matter if he clears out all these bases. When your macro is so far ahead, you can trade and sacrifice like thousands upon thousands of resources worth of economy, technology, and army just to do a little bit of damage, and it takes them further behind. He didn't gain any ground by doing that. I mean, it's all he can do, but his army is separated from his base. It's just not going to work out for him. And of course, I notice that, and I take advantage of it. I just run the Marines and SCVs up here. Of course, the Colossus don't stand a chance. Clearly, they've never fought against SCVs before. You just see them all die now. It's kind of sad. You know, he's doing what he should. He's building the right units to counter. He's just... Oh, there's 65 kills on that one. It's just he was not able to macro. He stopped macroing, and it was depending on his technology.
Research complete.
Too many dumb players are making high leagues just by deathballing and doing those gimmicky things. I really wish I could play against a really strong macro player. I guess that won't happen until Masters. Too many people are relying on these gimmicky strategies. I mean, he has Colossus, Force Fields, it just doesn't matter. I mean, he could even have Templars out soon. Well, he should. He doesn't even have Storm research. He couldn't afford Storm because he didn't even have a third base. They have SCVs chasing down what was left there. This is over. It wasn't such a joke game, but I mean, it just really shows how important it is to continue making workers throughout the course of a game, and to really try and get that third up if you're depending on technology to win. Obviously, he was not depending on his macro abilities. He was depending on his Colossus, Sentries, and what should have been High Templar, maybe some Archons, and Charge Lots that he had upgraded before. And of course, he had all his ground upgrades as well. He really needed to defend his third and grab that death ball and try and just walk up into my main and start cleaning the map out. And I'll do something I haven't done in previous games. I'll just switch the view so you can see where I was at the end. You can see I took these bases on the side too. I was looking to expand back here. I was going to take a gold soon too, but the game ended and I let the macro cool down quite a bit. And if you remember how I did pull a bunch of SCVs to begin with, you can't confuse this for an all-in. Because behind it all, more SCVs are being produced, more Marines, you have more SCVs here, more SCVs here, more here, more here. It's not all in. You have a lot of workers still. And it's just a matter of choosing when to pull them and when to keep them in your base. As you saw in that focal battle in the beginning there with the Colossus, SCVs really pulled me through that. And you got to treat them like units. You can be greedy and still be offensive. That said, thanks for watching the third episode here, and I'll see you guys soon.